Big news, AFTV are coming to Ghana. We are coming to Ghana in Africa between the 6th and 12th of February, and we're going to be meeting Ghanaian Arsenal fans and doing a watch party around the West Ham versus Arsenal football game. You do not want to miss this, so Ghana, get ready. We are coming. AFTV.
Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with fans who linked with January transfer move to Arsenal. Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Just before we get into the transfers, gotta say, what an incredible day it was in football yesterday. First of all, the Jurgen Klopp news that he's leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. That came out of nowhere. I did not see that coming. Liverpool fans didn't see that coming. I'll tell you what, speaking to a load of them yesterday, it was almost like they were in mourning. I mean, incredible that he's actually going to be leaving Liverpool. Does that make it a little bit easier for Mikel Arteta going forward? Because trying to get past these two juggernaut managers of Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola is really, really tough. But yeah, I was really shocked by that news. Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool. What does that do for the Premier League? And also, what I really enjoyed yesterday was watching the great Tottenham Hotspur. Now, they've been giving it, these Spurs fans now, for the last, few weeks. You know, when we lost our games, they've been on our case. Big Ange this, Big Ange that. Their only chance to win a trophy this season in the FA Cup, right? They haven't won a trophy for 15 years. This guy who they've hailed as the Messiah coming in, they can't blame it on injuries and stuff like that because they came up against a Man City that equally was missing players like Haaland and that. They're at home in front of their own fans. They were all mad confident. And what happened? They lost. Lost 1-0. But listen, if you watch the game, they got absolutely battered. It's only because City missed a load of chances. That was the only reason why it weren't worse than that. 19 shots, I think City had on target. 19 shots. You know how many Tottenham had? 1 in the whole game. Absolutely terrible. And it was just good to see them put back in their place for once, right? So that was good. But it has been a bit of a disappointing weekend that we're not in the FA Cup. And listen, we've been able to just take a break again and get ready for that game coming up against Nottingham Forest on Tuesday night. Forest, by the way, they drew their game against Bristol City. And they played a pretty strong team as well. So does that help Arsenal, the fact that, they didn't win their game and we've got them on Tuesday? Listen, we got to do our business when it comes down to that game. But into the transfers, Victor Osimhen, who we've spoken about a lot of times on the show since the January transfer window began. Yesterday it was confirmed by the Napoli president, Areola De Laurentiis, that he is definitely leaving the club in the summer, which is really, a lot of people looked at it and thought straight. Listen, I thought inevitable that he's probably going to leave because big offers are going to come in for him. But he only just signed a new deal in December. Just goes to show you that sometimes some of these deals ain't worth the paper they're written on. Obviously got some sort of release clause in there, said to be around about 119 million. Osimhen the other day at the African Cup of Nations, when asked about it, said that he's already decided on his future in the summer. Where will he go? Will it be Arsenal? Will it be Chelsea? Where is he going to end up in the summer? Do you want him? If you guys out there had a choice between Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney, it might come down to something like that. Which one of those two would you choose? I heard Stricto, who comes on AFTV a lot, we interview him after games. I was watching him on DR Sports the other day doing the African Cup of Nations, saying that, and he's a Nigeria fan, saying that he's not keen on Osimhen because he thinks he misses too many chances. But if you look at Osimhen's goal-scoring record, it's brilliant. He was the one who scored the goals that led Napoli to win the league last season. Do you want Osimhen? It'd probably be about £120 million. Would it be a great signing for Arsenal, or do you think we should be looking elsewhere, or should it be Ivan Toney? Really want to hear from you guys in the comments, but interesting. He's definitely going to be leaving. Look out for the summer Osimhen Daily or Toney Daily. That's what it's going to be at the start for sure here on AFTV. Now, Cédric Soares, definitely looks like he's on the move. Now, we got the news yesterday that a target for Arsenal since the summer, that Arsenal also looking at this player during the January transfer window, and that was Sacha Boey. Well, he moved to Bayern Munich. He's going to Bayern Munich. That's a definite that he's joining them from Galatasaray. It leaves a hole, though, for Galatasaray. Who fills him in that right-back position? Well, they have identified Cédric as the player that they want to join them. He's also been linked with Besiktas over there in Turkey, but it looks like Galatasaray are the team that want him. They are negotiating with Arsenal at the moment over a deal. It won't be a big fee because, of course, Cédric's contract is up in the summer. But for Arsenal, they'll be looking to definitely move Cédric on. He's on £100,000 a week. It's a lot of money at Arsenal, and at the moment he's just sitting on the bench, just warming it, So he's not going to get no game time at Arsenal. So it would make sense for Arsenal to move him on now, even if it's a tiny fee, to get those massive wages off their books. So expect Cédric to move on before the end of the January transfer window. Now, this next one was a really interesting one. Came out of the blue yesterday. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall of Leicester. Talented player. Even last season when they got relegated, he was one of the players that sort of stood out a bit as a real emerging talent. He's been really, smashing it in the Championship. Leicester having a great time in the Championship at the moment. Looks like they're going to be coming straight up there, leading the Championship pretty easily at the moment. And he's been one of the integral reasons why. And he's wanted by a host of clubs. Now, Brighton, it was revealed by David Ornstein yesterday, have been negotiating to try and get a deal done to sign Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. He's valued, according to Leicester, around £30 million. That's what they want for him, around about 30 million. Leicester don't want to pay that, but it's also revealed by David Ornstein that Arsenal are big admirers of Dewsbury-Hall as well. Now, will Arsenal try and make a move for Dewsbury-Hall to try and get him in that midfield? Who knows? Brentford also a team that are really, really interested in him. Is he good enough? Is he the player that we need? But Arsenal big admirers of Dewsbury-Hall, and let's wait and see how that one develops. But at the moment, it's Brighton that are in the driving seat to sign Dewsbury-Hall at the moment. So let's see how that one develops out. Trying to switch my little iPad thing here. I'm trying to switch it to the next thing. Right, there we go. That's what happens when you're live, right? Fabio Viera. Now, what's going to happen with him? This one is really, really interesting. Of course, we know that Vieira is still out injured for Arsenal at the moment. Signed in 2022 for £35 million. It was a signing that really came out of the blue. We've seen loads of these at Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, Edu, signings that nobody saw coming. But he really came out of the blue. And he's come to Arsenal, big reputation. I remember I was over in Porto last year in September, speaking to some people over there who told me that he's a top, when he was at Porto, he was considered like one of the hottest prospects, really played well for them, but he's just not hit it off at Arsenal. Since 2022, he's been there now in his second season. All right, he's injured at the moment, but he's been really hit and miss. Now, Monaco have contacted Arsenal about a possible loan for Fabio Viera from now till the end of the season. Not sure what will happen with this one because, as I said, Vieira at the moment currently injured, but it's just not happening for Vieira at the moment for Arsenal. You see him come on and in certain games have some little moments, but for £35 million, which is no little amount of money, you're expecting a lot more from this player. So will Arsenal possibly loan him out? I'm not sure when he's going to return from his injury, but will Arsenal consider loaning him out, or will they keep until the end of the season? Remember, Arsenal still fighting for the Premier League and still in the Champions League as well, coming up against Porto in that game in a couple of weeks' time. So going to be interesting to see what happens between now and the end of the transfer window, which shuts very soon, February the 1st. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to check out all of our excellent preview content building up to that game against Nottingham Forest Massive game. And all the fans over there in Ghana, I can't wait to get out there. We're coming over to Ghana to do a watch party. I'm really looking forward to that. I got to get all my jabs yesterday. Can't wait to get over there to Ghana. There's some real passionate Arsenal fans over there, and we're going to be really highlighting them. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.